Today we embark on a journey back in time to understand and appreciate a monumental piece of history situated in the heart of Marshall, Texas. This city, nestled in the east of the state, played a significant role during the American Civil War, and its legacy is forever etched in stone downtown. Join me as we delve into the rich history behind the Confederate Memorial Statue, a solemn reminder of the courage and sacrifice of those who fought for the Confederate cause during the war that divided a nation. Marshall, a city with a rich Confederate history, served as a vital hub during the Civil War. Located along the important Southern Pacific Railroad, the town was a key supply center, providing crucial support to the Confederate Army and acting as a gateway for trade and transportation, hauling troops and supplies to Jonesville. The idea for this memorial originated with the Daughters of the Confederacy, Marshall Chapter 412, led by the indomitable Mrs. T.A. Elgin. It was a humble yet ambitious endeavor, driven by the desire to remember and pay respects to those who perished. The organization, dedicated to preserving the legacy of the Confederate soldiers, sought to ensure that their heroic deeds would never be forgotten. And so, with unwavering determination, they rallied support from across the nation, receiving contributions from as far away as New York and El Paso, ensuring that their dream would become a reality. The initial cost was $1,500, but when the sculptors were consulted, the final price was $2,500. The last $100 was raised by asking for donations of $1 in the town newspaper, which listed those donations by name. Many of these names are easily recognized because their descendants still live in Marshall and Harrison County to this day. Frank Tyesh, the sculptor, made the first full-size model in clay. According to the Marshall Evening Messenger newspaper of the time, Tyesh had a young man about 22 years of age and a member of the state militia pose and dress in a uniform explicitly made from the advice of several old Confederate veterans. The gun, bayonet, canteen, and haversack all were studied separately as to be perfect in representing the accoutrements during the war. Even in the corner of the haversack, one can trace the lines of a biscuit, which is supposed to be on the inside. The clay model was cast in plaster of Paris to ship it to Italy. The monument's base is constructed from granite, hewn from the very earth of Texas, from quarries near Llano. This sturdy foundation symbolizes the unyielding determination of the Confederate troops who called Texas home. The statue's dedication day, January 19, 1906, coincided with the birthday of Robert E. Lee, the renowned Confederate general. It was more than just a coincidental celebration. It was a thoughtful acknowledgement of Lee's leadership and unwavering commitment to the Confederate cause. The ceremony itself was a solemn affair, attended by veterans, their descendants, and community members, united in their respect for the Confederate soldiers who had gone before them. The monument was erected on the east side of the courthouse grounds, about halfway up the concrete walk. The Marshall Evening Messenger described it as follows.
Upon the very ground upon which this magnificent monument was unveiled today, several companies were sworn into service during the early part of the war, one of the most notable of which was Bass's Grays, afterwards known as Company D of the 7th Texas Regiment. This company was organized and drilled here and enlisted here, taking the oath of allegiance to the Confederate government on a spot very near to where the monument now stands, and in the late summer of 1861, left for the seat of war and were engaged in many of the bloodiest battles during the struggle. Of the 91 names upon the roster leaving Marshall at the time stated, 73 have crossed over the river and are resting under the shade of the trees.
Harrison County boasted 13 companies. 844 soldiers served from this community. 177 didn't return. The event drew attendees from across the region, with special guests traveling from Jefferson, Texas, and Shreveport, Louisiana. It was a magnificent ceremony, replete with poems and speeches, a grand march, and the stirring notes of a concert band. In a symbolic gesture, 13 young girls, each representing one of the 13 southern states, participated in the proceedings. The songs chosen for the occasion were significant, including Dixie and Maryland, Maryland, which were once an integral part of the Confederate experience. The assembled crowd also enjoyed the sentimental Union song, The Vacant Chair, a favorite of Northerners and Southerners alike. The patriotic anthem, America, added a further touch of solemnity to the proceedings. The Confederate Memorial Statue has stood tall through the decades, silently witnessing the changes and growth of the city around it. It serves as a humbling reminder of the importance of history, the lessons learned from the past, and the enduring legacy of those who came before us. Most of all, it's a memorial to the ancestors of the people of Harrison County who gave their lives to protect their families and freedoms. Over 100 years have passed since this statue's dedication. It's even been registered by the Smithsonian Museum of Art. And although in the past decade there have been attempts from small groups to remove it, it still proudly stands, a testament to the enduring respect and gratitude for those who gave their lives for their community. As Mrs. T.A. Elgin originally proclaimed on the day the statue was unveiled,
it should stand like a stone wall to commemorate the noble virtues and bravery until time should be no more.
The Confederate Memorial Statue should always stand. It is a memorial that reminds residents and visitors alike of the resilience and sacrifice of those from East Texas who fought bravely for their loved ones and their beliefs. For some of our ancestors who were buried in mass graves on battlefields throughout this country, it's one of the few memorials they still have standing. This video is dedicated to all the men from East Texas who fought and died in the Civil War, and brought to you by the Heartsill Camp, number 314 of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. For more information, please visit www.scv.org.